Original star number 2933, a fierce scramble breaks out over a senior true treasure, a pair of hammers, recently obtained by a Universe Overlord who looks like a werewolf. From Babata's explanation, that figure is none other than Venerable Tian Hua, an extraordinary existence within the Sky Wolf race whose status and power are just one tier below the Sky Wolf Master. Born with incredible talent, he was lucky enough to become the direct disciple of the Dream Demon Ancestor and the Sky Wolf Master, which allowed him to reach a terrifying level of strength as a top-tier Universe Overlord. Throughout his track record, Venerable Tian Hua has been known as a real threat, having repeatedly invaded human territory to plunder various precious treasures. His cunning and boldness don't stop there. He once even pulled a reckless stunt by infiltrating the virtual universe's security network just to steal top-secret intel about Earth. The whole treasure-snatching moment instantly turns upside down when Luofong suddenly shows up and unleashes his 9 Tiger River domain technique. Luofeng's arrival triggers total panic among the universe Venerables watching from a distance as they realize just how dangerous this Luofeng really is. Venerable Tian Hua, possessing a life gene level 2,000 times the norm, feels super confident in his own strength and doesn't show an ounce of fear even though he's surrounded by Luofeng's golden domain. Instead, he feels insulted and treats Luofeng's audacity to challenge him like a massive, ridiculous joke. Venerable Tian Hua then dashes straight at Luofeng to launch an attack. However, Luofeng calmly draws his Blood Shadow sword from his back and unleashes his ultimate technique, Golden Light, which completely pierces through Venerable Tian Hua's hammer defense and directly smashes into the senior true treasure armor he's wearing. Venerable Tian Hua gets knocked flying, completely shocked by how insanely strong Luofeng is. He realizes that in just a single slash, 11% of his divine body has instantly vanished. He speculates that Luofeng's power level has already reached the Universe Master tier. Venerable Tian Hua realizes he's on the brink of death if he takes a few more hits like that. But Luofeng is already catching up in a flash, relentlessly striking with his sword over and over again until Tian Hua's body is chopped into several pieces. With zero hope of winning, Tian Hua ends up self-destructing in mid-air. After Venerable Tian Hua's death, all the Venerables present immediately scatter to report the incident to their respective factions, but Luofeng stays completely calm, fully intending to just let the news spread on its own. The news about Luofeng's terrifying strength quickly reaches the ears of the Dream Demon Ancestor, who gets absolutely furious knowing that her disciple has been killed by him. Hearing this, the Zerg Empress is super curious. How could Venerable Tian Hua, a top Universe Overlord, just die so easily at Luofeng's hands? Another suspicion pops up, that Luofeng has already stepped into the Universe Master level. But Father God brushes that claim off, calling it impossible, since no one has ever broken through straight from Immortal King to Universe Master. Still, just imagining if Luofeng really did break through to the Universe Master level makes it a situation way too dangerous to let him grow any further. Taking advantage of the fact that Luofeng has left the protection of the ancestral god sect, they dispatch Universe Master warriors to assassinate him. To guarantee success, the 3-race alliance decides that each race will send out 3 warriors, making it a total of 9 Universe Masters deployed to surround Luofeng, who is still hanging out on original star number 02933. This time around, 2 of the 3 warriors sent by the demon race are the Tongling Master and the Sinking Fire Master. Meanwhile, the Automaton race will send 3 Universe Masters and contact the Northern Territory Alliance as well as other major factions to lend a hand. As for the Bug race, they're sending 3 Universe Masters too, and one of them is led by Banfu Master, a Universe Master who specializes in illusions and soul attacks. The news about Luofeng's current situation also reaches the higher-ups of the human race. Even the Chaos City Lord is worried enough to personally contact Luofeng, tipping him off that various major factions are sending several Universe Masters and 1,000 Universe Venerables straight to the original star. It's crystal clear that the 3-race alliance is dead serious about wanting to kill Luofeng, but the Chaos City Lord still fully trusts in Luofeng's capabilities. That said, he still advises Luofeng to stay super careful, because if things go completely south, his master suggests that Luofeng should just self-destruct so he can be resurrected later in the future. Not long after, the vibe gets super tense when Babata's detection system suddenly picks up some crazy fluctuations. Several massive energy waves are detected speeding toward their area on the original star. This isn't some threat they can just shrug off. From the energy signatures, she can clearly identify that many of these incomers are absolute existences with Universe Master level power, accompanied by 1,000 Universe Venerables. Among those approaching Universe Masters, the most pressing threat comes from the Demon Race faction. Based on her tracking, the sinking Fire Master is currently at the closest point to Luofeng's location. Hearing this, Luofeng doesn't look scared at all. If anything, he feels challenged by just how serious the three-race alliance is taking this. Fully prepared, Luofeng's initial game plan this time is to deploy his golden horned beast body to head somewhere and go fishing for bait. In this operation to take out Luofeng, the higher-ups of the three-race alliance are taking command, and the assigned Universe Masters will lead the Universe Venerables on the battlefield. From Father God's report, Luofeng was last detected on original star number 02933, and the sinking Fire Master is tasked with tracking down his exact coordinates. But right in the middle of his hunt, the sinking Fire Master senses Luofeng's Nine Tiger River and stumbles upon the golden horned beast just chilling there. The tension peaks when the sinking Fire Master glares sharply at the golden horned beast, demanding to know the identity of this beast carrying Luofeng's treasure. Without showing a single drop of fear, the beast replies casually but with a defiant tone. After hearing that the beast in front of him is connected to Luofeng, he tries to force it to spit out Luofeng's whereabouts. But the beast chooses to stay silent and just leaves the scene, totally ignoring the sinking Fire Master and leaving him full of curiosity.
与三族为敌。我倒要看看三族有多大本事。他与罗峰关系不一般。
Not wanting to waste this clue about Luofeng's location, a furious sinking Fire Master chases the beast right into a spatial zone filled with red mist. When the sinking Fire Master enters the red mist, he suddenly realizes he can't sense the golden horned beast's presence anymore. Feeling like his detection senses are blocked, he uses his flaming hammers to smash the space seals in the area one by one. After that, the sinking Fire Master obliterates this entire red nebula zone with an explosive blast from his sinking fire hammers. Once the nebula mist clears out, the sinking Fire Master completely doesn't expect to uncover the Blood Cloud Palace, a place highly sought after by various factions because of its owner's cruelty. He immediately reports this massive discovery back to the Three-Race Alliance. Hearing that they've found the Blood Cloud Master, the eyes of the Three-Race Alliance leaders fill with absolute, vengeful rage. This sparks a huge debate among the three leaders. Father God suspects that this whole incident is tied to some connection between the Blood Cloud Master and Luofeng. However, Father God suggests they stay laser-focused on the op to kill Luofeng. Hearing that, the Dream Demon Ancestor disagrees, arguing that the demon race has suffered massive uncountable losses from the Blood Cloud Master's past massacres. She suggests splitting the current hunting operation into two, one group to eliminate Luofeng, while the other Universe Masters deal with the Blood Cloud Master. Ultimately, the Zerg Empress also agrees with this plan, so the Three-Race Alliance forces are officially split in two. Not just that, but the news about the Blood Cloud Palace popping up spreads like wildfire to other factions holding deep grudges against the Blood Cloud Master, like the Northern Territory Alliance and the Space Beast Alliance. In the end, the stage Luofeng setup works out exactly as planned. The situation on original star number 02933 is getting even more intense. With thorough preparation, one of the Universe Masters from the Three-Race Alliance sets up a blockade, locking down the entire perimeter of the planet using a space and time seal technique. After that, the Three-Race Alliance, comprising troops from the Bug Clan, Automaton Race, and Demon Alliance, deploys over 9,000 Universe Venerables, scattering them across various zones to pinpoint Luofeng's location. The Venerables from these three major alliances move without an ounce of fear because their higher-ups have promised to use space-time reversal to resurrect anyone who falls in battle. This guarantee turns the hunt into a highly aggressive and systematic sweep. Seeing the sky completely covered by the enemy Universe Master's technique, Luofeng knows for a fact he can't hide much longer. The only thing left for him to do is launch guerrilla attacks. But soon enough, two demon race members spot Luofeng from a distance. Just as those demons start chasing him, Luofeng in his Mosha form suddenly appears right next to them. With a single slash, those two demons drop dead instantly. Luofeng keeps up his highly efficient guerrilla warfare, effortlessly executing his opponents one by one. He pulls this off by relying on his domain technique, which lets him teleport even when space and time in the area are on lockdown. On top of that, Luofong can shift his position in a flash to totally mess up the enemy alliance's encirclement plan while continuously wiping out every enemy Venerable he runs into. Not long after, Luofong senses a Universe Master approaching. It turns out to be the Longyan Master, sent by the Chaos City Lord to help Luofong disrupt the space and time blockade on the planet. He feels totally amazed by the disciple of his fellow senior apprentice brother, marveling at how Luofong managed to trigger such a massive siege from the three-race alliance. But since his job is strictly to deal with the space-time blockade, he isn't going to interfere too much further, as getting deeply involved would spark an even bigger war. Seeing the space-time blockade being messed with, the three leaders of the three-race alliance immediately figure out that the Hongmeng alliance is stepping in to help. But they don't really sweat it, because their trump cards haven't even fully made their moves yet. Based on the tracks and movement paths explained by Father God, Luofeng's position can still be tracked and firmly locked within a 50 cosmic unit radius. On the flip side, the three-race alliance's power is nothing to scoff at. Even though they were forced to split some of their combat forces to hunt down the Blood Cloud Master, their remaining armada is still absolutely massive. There are still over 9,000 Venerables currently gearing up to surround and obliterate Luofeng. The sheer scale of this force creates an inescapable threat. Once this giant siege net is fully formed and slowly starts tightening from all directions, it's pretty much a given. Luofeng won't have a single opening or anywhere left to run. Meanwhile, reports from the demon race indicate they've already figured out the estimated trail of Luofeng's whereabouts. Wrapping up this encirclement obviously isn't going to be hard for them. However, over on original star number 08293, they've failed to find a single clue about the Blood Cloud Master's tracks. He's completely undetectable there. That Blood Palace mysteriously vanished, leaving a huge lingering concern right in the middle of this hunting operation. Universe Masters from other factions also try tracking down the Blood Cloud Master. For instance, the Star River Master scans his consciousness across the entirety of original star number 08293. Meanwhile, the Golden Horn Master is also on the hunt for the Blood Cloud Master, followed closely by the Crystal Race over on planet number 04552. A breakthrough finally happens when the Blood Cloud Palace crosses through original star number 03129. The sinking Fire Master, who happens to be there, immediately gives chase to the Flying Palace. Back on original star number 02933, where Luofeng is currently throwing an absolute massacre. Even though he's being ganged up on by tons of enemies right now, instead of feeling overwhelmed, Luofeng actually dives deep into the madness of battle, awakening the dark side of his beast god heart. The bloodthirsty influence of the golden horned beast genes that he's been suppressing all this time completely erupts, turning him into a super efficient killing machine. In a ridiculously short amount of time, the enemy body count slaughtered by Luofeng skyrockets from the hundreds up to 800 Universe Venerables. These enemies get so terrified by Luofeng going completely berserk that, eventually, not a single Universe Venerable is left standing in that encircled area. Not long after, a massive tsunami emerges, manipulating the space around it. The incredible domain phenomenon known as Fushanhai, floating mountain sea, materializes, exerting an unbelievably terrifying energy pressure. The figure behind this horrifying power is none other than the Tongling Master, a Universe Master who was apparently recruited by the demon race for an insanely high price. The Tongling Master is known to be a super rare special life form, an ancient existence that has lived and evolved since the very beginning of the universe's creation. With those crashing waves, the Longyan Master can only help Luofeng withstand a portion of the pressure effects generated by the opponent's top-tier true treasure domain. The rest is entirely up to whether Luofeng can handle it or not. In the middle of this oppressive black ocean, Luofeng gets swept away by waves within a domain sea packed with countless energy shockwaves hitting as hard as neutron stars. Yet, Luofeng shows off a defense that's practically impossible to pierce, even by a Universe Master level domain power. His secret lies in the force armor, which is capable of dampening enemy attacks down to just 1 in 100,000 of their original force.
无数种子星级的能量冲击，
Initially, the Tongling Master figured Luofong would just collapse under his domain attack. But completely beyond his expectations, Luofong is still holding up. Even a top Universe Overlord wouldn't last long against his floating Mountain Sea domain attack. The Tongling Master actually starts questioning whether they're facing a Universe Master in disguise. The news about Luofeng's absurd resilience quickly spreads among the leaders of the three-race alliance. They get caught up in a heated debate. Did Luofeng actually break through to a new power level? Or is he just insanely lucky to have treasures that defy all logic? However, seeing that Luofeng is still holding his ground and hasn't decided to blow himself up, the Zerg Empress gets even more fired up. She grows impatient waiting for the arrival of Banfu Master, her top-tier subordinate who can unleash illusion techniques and soul attacks. The highly anticipated climax finally arrives as the atmosphere on the planet vibrates violently once again. From a distance, a figure with a completely dominant presence appears. It's Banfu Master from the Bug Race. The battle kicks off with a sneaky trick from Banfu Master as she tries to mess with Luofeng's mind through a casual conversation. She lies claiming to be a member of the Northern Territory Alliance and offers to help him snatch Earth back from humanity's hands just to get Luofeng to join her side. But Luofeng suddenly falls dead silent when he hears that offer. Well, is he starting to waver in his resolve?
那可是宇宙之主中最顶。
The scene cuts to original star number 03129. The sinking Fire Master, who has been in hot pursuit, finally catches up to the Blood Cloud Palace, which has stopped moving. The Blood Cloud Master deliberately ran to give this opponent a chance to live, but since the sinking Fire Master apparently has a death wish, he's more than happy to grant it. The fight finally breaks out as the sinking Fire Master attacks with his two hammers, using a high-level beast god path power that shatters the surrounding space like broken glass. On the flip side, the Blood Cloud Master stays totally calm and pulls out his spear weapon. He unleashes his newest technique, Blood Light, which is a Universe Master level ultimate technique. The result is absolutely mind-blowing. The Blood Cloud Master's long spear attack moves at an absurd speed, instantly piercing right through the sinking Fire Master's chest. Even though the sinking Fire Master manages to retaliate by landing one hammer blow on Blood Cloud Master's body, the attack is completely useless.